last year were in both of the international finals, now coming into this year have struggled to refine that power, to refine that glory. Perhaps this can be that stepping stone for them towards quarterfinals and hopefully for them further on.
And I mean, for LPL fans, they're damn well hoping it is, because the feeling for a lot of LPL fans really is that they are losing a step on the LCK, that they haven't been able to be as competitive, that it is becoming, back to the old days where it was kind of LCK and everyone else. And then LPL had gone on a tear for a few years where they were really starting to pick up steam, winning a lot of internationals. And now it feels like it's going back the other way once more. So BLG, TES, both trying to find their way into the quarters here. Azir, Ori, both up. Wukong going to be banned out. Nico up, obviously some of the high priority champs. It feels like it's probably just going to be that potential trade of Orianna for Azir.
But then you also trade away the Yunara. Having left that up, BLG can grab Yunara and Azir here, which puts them in a really strong position when you get to those later game team fights.
It absolutely does. And I was going to say, I actually would love if they grab Nico here, because if you take Azir, it doesn't really matter. You can grab that later. And the worry when you go Yunara sometimes is that then they go for like a Nico in a power lane and really try to bully that Yunara early. But by taking the Nico, I feel like it's often the band-aid that allows Yunara to get towards the later stages of the game. But this is a great comp here so far for TES. Very clear way to play the game, right? Ball goes on Jarvan. He jumps on Yunara's head. Equalizer over the top. Shockwave over the top. And you're clearly giving, yes, you are giving over that Yunara, but you have a plan really to deal with it.
It's also putting people on comfort, right? Like, Kanavi's most played in summer was this Jarvan, 84% win rate on it. Cream's second most played was this Orianna with 9 games on it in summer as well.
Yeah, and Kanavi, I feel like, hasn't really shown up at Worlds just yet.
Agreed.
But to me, when I was watching him a lot of summer in the LPL, I was thinking he might just be the best early game jungler in the world, right? Like, he's clearly one of the best junglers, but in particular, his early game pathing, I thought, have been so intelligent. And so I do love seeing him on champions like Jarvan, where he can really affect the map, really kind of throw a wrench in the gears. And it's just one of those players that you have to always be wondering where those pocket visions are. Could he be there? Is he already behind us?
We'll note as well, BLG sticking with Shadow for the first game in this series. I wonder if we'll see Beishuan perhaps subbing in later in the series. But for now, the Corki and the Cassante banned away as we move into the second phase of this second round of bans.
Galio might be the next ban, is kind of what I'm expecting. I mean, Sion was already banned out, obviously, on red side. You can't give that over. But it does feel like BLG needs some sort of big front line right now to be able to kind of bring things together. So Galio could be a potential option that they want to take away. I think that makes a lot of sense. Good matchup into the Rumble. So now you've taken away a lot of those key tanks. I would say, I mean, it's not a bin champ, but like Ornn to me feels like compositionally what would kind of make sense here.
Actually has become more of a bin champ
know,
over
but
summer. I don't think he's great on it. I think it's something he's put on because it fits the team, and he is playing it. And there it comes. I agree with you in terms of stylistic tendencies. Not a bin champ, but it's something BLG have reverted to using this summer.
Yeah, I mean, they've been playing a lot more this summer. I think just compositionally it makes a lot of sense. It's also quite a good matchup into the Rumble, and it's just what the comp needs. Like, Ornn gives you the hard engage that you need. It's a decent matchup into the top lane. It's the only tank that's really viable and still available, unless you're going way off meta into kind of some of the weirder picks. So I do think it makes a lot of sense here. And now we just have to see what the bot lane is going to be for TES. Are they going to try to go for something really aggressive, look to punish, or is it going to be more standard, just try to match scaling for scaling? I think Lucian would fit the bill.
And Lucian Nami does sort of fit what you want to do. It's a little
also
bit weak into
Lucian
the Nico.
Braum.
Lucian Braum because you put protection into the Ornn, as you're saying. So there we are. Lucian Braum is where we will go. It allows you a bit more power later in the team fights because that Unbreakable, that shield from the Braum can stop the Court of the Forge God charging back towards the Ornn. BLG looking at their mid laner, giving Knight last pick, giving him counter pick. Azir's still available if they do just want to go for something scaling. For the moment, hovering that Aurora.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he does go. We already have seen him play Ziggs once. It was into the Azir matchup, and he did play well on it. And now, this time, going to be into the Orianna. So Azir going to fall all the way through picks and bans. It will be this Ziggs. And now, they're going to have not only some really powerful wave clear, but some good backline access of their own. You can throw out that ult to follow up. If Nico finds a good engage, Ornn starts it off with the ult. But of course, you're going to be having to play around that Braum, which is going to make things very, very difficult. You always have to watch out, with that Call of the Forge God. if Braum has shield up, it's not really going to be reliable whatsoever.
You're never going to be able to connect with it, assuming that Hung plays it well and uses that Unbreakable properly.
Is maybe a dangerous assumption based on some of the things that have happened in this tournament. There have been some mishaps, including not even knowing the build path on Nico for Proto Belts.
Yeah, the Kindle Gem first item wasn't the best for that Rocket Belt when he was playing the Nico, but we'll see how Hung does coming into this team in summer, replacing Crisp, who went over to Weibo. With Hung coming across from Weibo. And after he came in, actually, Top Esports started doing a lot better. You know, in winter, they lost to Hanwha Life in the first round, obviously. But then when they were in spring, they lost to WE, placed 6th even after they topped the regular season. And then the introduction of Hung got them into those finals. But weren't quite able to take down their rivals today, BLG, losing 3-2 in the end. We're going to make our way onto Summoner's Rift for the first game of this LPL clash.
And one of the big questions for me today really is how is Cream going to perform? Because I feel like he has played so far below his standard, his usual standard. And when you're looking across the other side of the map, Knight has just been such a monster. This guy's been absolutely on a tear, it feels like, here at Worlds. So if Cream is not on it, you do have that concern for TES that Knight could just really start to run away with the series.
I'm also concerned because he's playing Orianna into an early ganking Xin and a satchel charge from the Ziggs. You burn your flash early on, there's a lot of pre-6 ganks that can happen on that Orianna. And if you get Knight ahead, we saw how much work he can do on this Ziggs yesterday. Went 5-1 in their first game versus VKS.
Yeah, absolutely did. Has been really strong. A lot of comfort, you know, you touched on it. 16-4 career on Jarvan for Kanavi, 17-4 on that Nico. So a lot of comfort being drafted by both these teams.
I do wonder if we'll see a possible dive from BLG with the Nico. You're already seeing the cannon minion dives a few times here at Worlds. It's really powerful early on being able to tank 6 or 7 tower shots with just a cannon minion Nico.
When you have heal, it can be like 8, 9.
It's broken. Let's be honest. It's incredibly strong.
It should not be in the game.
It shouldn't be in the game. Has been left in the game, and people are abusing it properly. But it's really hard to abuse into a Lucian and a Braum because even if you're trying to dive, concussive blows will just lock someone up for an absolute age. Your jungler can be there as well, but if the Zing goes in, how does he then get out afterwards?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. I mean, I still think it's one of these things that is really underused by pros. You know, even if they have CC to be able to stop it, that means you're having to spend the CC on this cannon Nico, you know, right off the rip here. And you can see the all-time head-to-head. Very close, 44-39 here.
44 for BLG, importantly, to 39. A few more LPL titles as well for BLG, and the last series was that LPL Finals just a couple of months ago, a month and a half ago or so. That BLG were able to just claim very close series between these two teams. And I think that's also partly why we expected a bit more of them coming into this Worlds, right? We saw them have a tight series, and so far neither of these teams have really managed to impress. BLG on day one losing to 100 Thieves, who put on a great performance, no doubts about it, but I think the expectation is
Kanavi.
that LPL #1 seed can do a little bit more as Jacula flashes forward, flag and drag onto Elk. No escape for the Yanara. We talked about a gank bot, and it's Top Esports who execute it.
Yeah, really well done there. Kanavi on his Jarvan, you know, I touched on it. Been so successful on it. He's just such a strong early game jungler here. Does get interrupted on the recall, so a little bit annoying for On. We'll see if Shadow can do anything with that additional time that he has been gifted. You know, if he can get at least like a double scuttle or something to try to claw that back. But at the very least, I mean, you're pretty far behind now. You lost 3 summoners on that bot side, and when you're playing Nico, you want to be playing in the face of your opponents, utilizing this ranged advantage that you have from this support. They do have this ward in the Pixel Brush, but by the time you see it, it just doesn't even matter. Hong flashed forward, you know, got that Q onto On, and that just meant Elk is kind of left out to dry. They both try to flash, and no way out.
You just push so far forward in that lane. As soon as Jarvan shows up around the corner, you are pretty much done for. Didn't even need to get the concussive blows stuns off. The Scuttle Crab does go over to Shadow on this bottom side. You can see he's about 3 camps up right now over Kanavi, looking for a wraparound gank, because Jacula and Hung both use their flashes. They only have a barrier left between the two of them, but with the wave pushing in, Hung can step forward and always jump back to Jacula with the stand beside me, and Top Esports respect it. Put a ward in the bush, spot out Shadow. This will allow Kanavi to step up towards that top side Scuttle Crab if he wants, because you know Shadow hasn't taken it, looking at his CS numbers.
Yep. Surprised Shadow didn't just try to actually just kill the ward when it got placed on top of him.
Yeah,
but,
also true.
Uses the W instead. Will just reset. And, yep, at the end of the day, not going to get double scuttle, not going to get anything really at all. It's a good read from Jackie Love and Hung. Knowing that they could be behind them, they push in the wave, they back off to that tri-brush, so Shadow can't do anything whatsoever. Elkanon trying to hold the wave and keep it into an awkward spot here to try to see if they can keep Jackie Love around, see if they can lane lock him something. But it's just going to be 369 moving down towards that bot lane. They're going to base Jackie Love, send him top. So I really like this because it was clever, from Elkanon. Shadow's down there. They had that wave held. And Jackie was low on mana, so had to base, but 369 just goes bot, pushes that out, and by the time the wave crashes top, Jackie Love's going to be there to catch it.
And Bin's built double no magic mantle, so if Bin does stay around on this top side, he's going to be dealing with a Lucian who has that AD. Don't expect it to happen, expect to see the bot lanes both swapping up towards this top side, but we will see if Bin decides that his matchup needs to be in that Lucian. He is walking out that way. And, it's a possibility. No, now TP's down towards the bottom side. Okay, decides against it. So we'll have both our bot lanes going towards the top side, and those top laners matching up in bot once again.
Yep, going to be continuing that matchup down there. Mid lane has been Knight, just kind of chipping away at Cream. Does have a slight advantage, but nothing too big. Very even game overall thus far. Just a couple hundred gold really off of that first blood from Kanavi. That is the only thing separating these two teams.
See if either team decides to go for that dragon. Still a couple of minutes before we have the grubs, so would be a slightly undermanned fight down towards the bottom side. Call of the Fort God being used. Good brittle procking here from Bin as 369 might have to invest his flash to get out of this one. Scrap shield down, 369 down to 200 HP. Bin just walking forward. Now 369 has the equalizer, gets a bit of health from the level up as well and forces Bin away. Shadow's coming in from that tri-bush. Meanwhile, a Mega Inferno Bomb doesn't quite hit as 369 is able to dodge to the side of it. On the top side, getting caught out by top Esports. Jackie Love gets the kill. Equalizer down towards bot to clear out the wave. Shadow trying to flank 369. Elk needs to run away. 369 flashes from Shadow's Wind becomes lightning. Elk backs away from the tower, and top Esports come out on top on both sides.
My weak side king, 369, absorbing the pressure. Been looking for a very good all-in off of that level up timer. But 369 survives it, survives the roam from Knight, the pressure from Shadow, and meanwhile on the other side they get the kill. They zone Elk entirely off this wave. Elk still has not been able to walk back to the tower, and they're going to keep staying here. He's losing so many minions to this tower. This is brutal.
Yeah, just a moment ago you talked about the small lead in the jungle for top Esports being the only lead that happened on the map. Jackie Love is now 700 gold ahead of Elk. And they're just going to keep forcing Elk away from this topside tower. 15 CS down, does now have his sums up, but he's only sitting on a cull.
I mean, Elk just watched about 3 full waves die to the tower, right? And there's nothing he could do about it. You try to walk through there, you are dead. Especially because we saw Shadow show on the bot side. We see where Knight is. There's no one there that can just kind of surprise and bail you out. So it's just really good aggressive play here from TES. Knight trading well, but so far, it's been the TES show, and opening up that advantage for Jackie Love. Him and Kanavi have the lead, and 369 is doing a really good job just kind of hanging on that bot side. He was able to bail out his bot lane, get them out of this tough lane where Jackie Love's out of mana, survives on the weak side, utilizing that rumble, almost has the equalizer back up, so even if you try to put pressure on him again, he's just going to be able to ult that wave and continue to chill.
He's been around for so many years, and there's always that meme, you're going to roll a 3, a 6, or a 9. Well, so far today, at least 6s, possibly a 9. We'll say surviving the dive was relatively well executed from him all around. TP coming out from Hung as the grubs come up, and we'll see top Esports trying to set up a bit of vision towards this top side to deny BLG their second neutral objective of the game. They did claim the Drake after the dive happened in the bot side. Shadow was able to walk across and take that Cloud Dragon, but for the moment, BLG not reacting to the grubs being started by top.
Yep, On is in the area. Doesn't seem to have any interest in trying to contest here. BLG are just going to give it up, so Shadow just doing that red buff. Will be 3 grubs going the way of TES, but that's a pretty big win for them. Have been able to push pretty heavily with Jackie Love, putting pressure on that lane, and maybe able to farm a couple more plates. You can see 1 is an auto or 2 away on that top side, so that is standing gold that they're going to be looking for.
Elk has to be really cautious. If he uses his E, or even if he gets hit by the Winter's Bite, the culling just immediately comes out. There's the barrier, and as I say it, Jackie Love and Hung show exactly why. Elk needs to back away. Now hits the level 6, does have that transcend oneself, but it doesn't really do a huge amount into an Unbreakable. If Hung just puts that down, you get some damage back. On still only level 5, doesn't have his own Pop Blossom. Hung about 2 minions away from getting his level 6, while Bin trades down towards this bottom side again.
Yeah, Bin trading really well in the 1v1. And you are always in that really nice scenario when it's double AP soul laners. You just rush Kanik, and no matter what the lane assignments are, you're going to be chilling. So Bin definitely in his comfort zone. We'll see how he can perform towards the later stages. I mean, not only do the solo carries scale really, really well, the Unara, the Ziggs, but also you have Ornn items potentially coming through. So, you know, BLG, while they are behind, they do have some very powerful scaling options, some really strong team fights. So as long as they can stabilize, they should be okay.
Loleventvods shot down again. Bin flashing forward for the second knockup. Well played by Bin. Gets the kill down towards the bottom side while top Esports try to set up around top. The wave cleared away means that BLG will survive any possibility of a dive, and BLG are on the board.
Yeah, clean little Ornn combo there from Bin, giving no ability for 369 to react. He pops the R and then flashes forward to redirect it even closer. Elk's going.
Elk looking for it. Elk of Judgment coming out. There's the heal as well. Jackie Love still has the flash on the barrier. We'll just use one of them. And TP coming in behind. Elk still has a flash. Double TP, as you say, invested on. One more will be enough for the concussive blows. Cataclysm out. Elk flashes away from the flag and drag. On locked up in the cage as he will be chased down. A double for top. Great collapse from them to get 2 in the top side.
What a play from the solo laners there. You know, 369 eating so much pressure down to that bot side, gets killed, and then double TP up towards that top side. 2 more kills going their way as they thought they had Jackie Love painted into a corner, but not only do they bail him out, again, they get that kill, and 369 just takes over the wave. He's going to push in, get a plate off the back of that. Yes, they are losing plates tonight, and they are going to lose a plate or 2 down to Bin, but still nice moves here from TES, who I definitely think want to stay aggressive and keep pushing this pace.
Satchel charge away. Hung going forward here on them in time with the Tangle Buffs. Glacial Fisher going out though, and Knight's already used the flash. Concussive blows for the stun, and top Esports find another out of nothing, really. Knight just thought he could walk away.
Kanavi and Hung, 5 for 5 on the KP so far this game. Deadly duo just walking around the map there. You know, in that initial flash forward from Hung, I was thinking, are you really going to be able to have enough to actually chase him down? But they knew their limits. They catch up, proc the concussive blows, and that is more than enough to get the kill onto Knight. And Knight has been playing pretty aggressive, pushing constantly. Now Ziggs with no flash is going to have to play a lot more defensive.
You talked about it in the draft. Kanavi's early game, one of the best early game junglers in the world, if not the best at times. Here, 5 kill participation out of 5, 100% for him and Hung. And they're just everywhere on the map. Now, BLG have been able to get a little bit of gold back into their pockets. Yeah. You can see Knight still relatively even, Bin still ahead, but that gold lead, 1.2k right now for top.
Top is playing well, but they need to be able to actually convert this into some objectives, right? That's the big concern now, because these kind of games always make me nervous, where you're getting kills and you look at the gold lead, it's 5-1, but the other team has a dragon, you're only up 1k, and they scale really well. So it doesn't really mean much unless you can convert it into something else afterwards. So now they're going to try to turn this into a dragon here. TES in the area. Knight pushes out top, and now he's going to TP mid to try to cover there.
Jackie Love has flash. Crescent Guard coming out from Shadow. Jackie Love's going to have to flash, but Bin's on the flank, and they just have to abandon him. Jackie Love charged down by the Ornn. Unbreakable out from Hung. The call of the board got a prayer to the heavens, but BLG, as they begin to turn it around, 2 more kills to them, and now the dragon in their eyes. BLG collapsed perfectly on the bottom side.
Yeah, and that's why these kind of games sometimes make me nervous, right? You know, you're doing well, you're doing well, but hasn't converted into anything, and now they show up to the objective, they get punished. Kanavi spotted in this ward, so shouldn't be any opportunity to actually steal this away. It will be the dragon, it will be the kills, and now the gold lead is essentially meaningless, right? It's nothing at all. And that is back-to-back dragons. It's going to be an Ocean Soul as well on a team with an Ornn. That is always a concern here, so we can watch this one more time. Shadow just full sends it onto Jackie, and Jackie flashes fairly late, doesn't really have a good angle to get away. And then when the Unbreakable is used, Bin says, great, it's a strike. Knocks them both up. You're going to be able to get even more off the back of that. Elk grabbing the kill is ideal.
Just gets BLG right back in this game. Elk only 500 gold behind now, has finished that Kraken Slayer, 35 stacks before he gets that extra gold infusion from the cult. First items completed across the board. Green will scale up as Knight's caught out a little bit. Redemption being used for the extra damage. Cataclysm, Satchel out, but still the Demacian standing up from Knight to get the kill, from Kanavi to get the kill. Shadow flashes and blast cones to safety. He's going to give up his red buff for that 369 covering to make sure that Bin can't come and collapse.
And Knight almost gets away, but Kanavi spear to the back, finishes him off there. Maintaining 100% KP. This guy is everywhere. Feels like his most impressive game at Worlds thus far.
Agreed.
Definitely looking strong. But again, the gold lead on Jarvan, that's not going to be enough to get it done here at the end of the day. You need to keep these carries in a great spot. And Jackie Love, wasn't able to kind of convert all of the pressure that they had been giving towards him, right? They had really been trying to enable him. And he was in a pretty good spot going into that fight, but they didn't have the proper setup at that Dragon. Ends up getting caught out and just kind of going down in a hurry. And now TES pushing here, trying to see if they could potentially look towards first tower, which would be feats.
I was going to talk about that because if you're top esports, this early game has gone well if you have good split push threat. If you can 1-3-1 well, because you've got grubs, you have a bit of a gold lead, your solo laners are in okay spots, but you can't really push into the Ornn because he just survives any push that is happening, and you can't push into a Ziggs because he just puts the explosive minefield down as On flashes forward for the double pop Blossom, and they lock up Jackie Love. Elk will get the kill, Hung's gonna fall second, BLG collapse again in the mid lane. They're setting up for the Rift Herald.
Jackie's not loving that. Elk grabs another kill, and now it's gonna be objectives off the back of this here. BLG just tearing it away.
It's huge because you're going to get tower as well. It's actual charge down from Knight. That tower is gone.
That's
first tower of the game for BLG. They'll get the objective, as you say. That's the feats of strength. Unless Kanavi can somehow steal this, but he can't get in range for the smite. TP coming in as top esports are looking for a little bit more of a fight, but there's going to be a 3v4 in BLG's favor. And they just walk out. You used your teleport. Yeah, Cream can just walk down towards the bottom side, so it's not too wasted, but still. A little bit of desperation there from top esports trying to collapse on that fight.
I agree. I think they're kind of feeling it slipping away from them here a bit. And Jackie goes up to trade onto Elk, but kind of just ignoring On there. A bit disrespectful in the positioning. And On makes him pay. He has the flash, even able to give that kill over. Kanavi, though, he's not giving up.
369's here for the collapse. Mega Inferno Bomb coming down. Kanavi down to 500 HP. 369 looking for the Flame Spitter, but now On and Knight on their way, and there's a TP behind. 369 has to try and flash away from the explosive. Might be Bin in the back line. 369 put in the trash. Cream having to flash away. Jackie Love with a culling, but that is doing nothing. Top esports have to retreat as BLG collapse well once again.
BLG just fully taking over here. The TPs have been so proactive in this game. Normally, ever since these TP changes, TPs are like back to farm. That's about it. We've had so many nice aggressive TPs in this game thus far. Both teams really making it work. But it does feel like BLG pulling further and further ahead here. Bin closing in on level 12, getting closer and closer towards those ornaments. And Elk now with a slight gold lead, but a slight gold lead on this Yunara, who had been focused very heavily. Kanavi was down there early. They're utilizing 369 multiple times to get preferential lane setups for Jackie as well. And now you're just bleeding out towers.
In the last 2 minutes, we've gone from 1,000 gold lead for top esports to a 2K lead for BLG. Shadow here, look for the damage on the Hung with the Rift Herald charging in. There's a Drake up in 40 seconds, so they just want the pressure. Meanwhile, Cream is pushing in the top lane, but Knight is answering that with pressure down towards bottom side.
But this is just such nice map play here from BLG. Of course, Cream doing a good job trading what he can, but you do not win trades like this against Herald and Ziggs. The tower is going to die here as well. On's looking.
On pop Blossom onto 2, 369 the target, and Bin calls in the gods. Hung the next target, unbreakable no longer. BLG find another couple, and top esports are just left reeling.
They are getting ran around the map right now. They even got the tier 2 tower in the midst of that, so it is getting worse and worse. Knight had this incredibly low. Great engage once again here from On. There's the Protobell, gets him in range. They have that Ziggs ult to follow up. Everyone piles in. They knew Cream wouldn't be here because he had been recalling on that top side. So they just full send it. They kill the tier 2. They knock down the players. They take the dragon. And BLG are really looking strong in this game 1.
5 minutes away from an Ocean Soul. You look at the other side, Jackie Love has 7 stacks on a Road of Ages, and that's, Cream has 7 stacks on a Road of Ages, and that's it. You got an Essence Reaver, a Navori Flicker Blades, only 1 item on Kanavi. They're not in a strong enough spot to fight BLG at this next Drake. They really need to get as much gold as possible, and they're trying to do it through picks towards this top side. Bin the target, yet to die this game. as Top Esports begin to collapse. It's a 4v1, but Ornn is known to survive quite a long time in these. Culling down, Bin's just going to charge his way away. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Cream trying to defend against 4, but he's not doing it as well as Bin can. 1-for-1 exchange. A tier 2 in mid, though. BLG will look for more as they push down the inhib.
Exactly. Bin knows he's going to die, but he just wastes so much of their time. On again. Gets a wraparound here. Finds another great engage. And not only do they get 1 tower, they get 2 towers, and guess what Shadow is doing? He's taking your whole jungle in the meanwhile. So yeah, you killed Bin, congrats, but you lost everything else.
And this is much more what we expected from BLG coming into this tournament. Everyone actually aligning and being synergized on their goals. Everyone feels like they know exactly where they need to be, when they need to be there, when they have to teleport, when they can look for the engages. In other games, you see an on going in and the rest of the team running away. Here, BLG much more aligned on exactly how they want to play.
They really are, and it may just be that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, it's that kind of game.
It's the reason he's won. Like, this guy's won the most titles of anyone in the LPL. There's a reason for it, and things like that just show how good he is.
It's
because he steals red
That's
buffs.
what you picked the Ziggs for.
Exactly,
it's not about the lane match.
No. Come on. It's the most impactful thing that we've seen in this game.
Oh, that's a statement.
It's an incorrect statement, we can both agree, but it was funny in the moment as Shadow caught out a little bit here, down to about half HP, but all he's trying to do is get vision with on. You can see a slew of vision for BLG around here. Top Esports only have that Tribush warded. Cream's going to be the one to step up, has that Horizon focus now complete. Articon is up if either team wants to play around it, and BLG seem to want to take that Barney. There's a flank from Shadow. He's all the way behind them here, Azael.
We'll see. Shadow's looking.
Oh, it's On, actually, who's got the flank. It's all the Xin on the minimap, and On's going to find a Pop Blossom here. Top Esports, they don't know what's coming. Pop Blossom onto 4! The Call of the Forge got a eulogy for TES. As a great collapse comes out from BLG, they continue to flash forward. Cream trying to survive, and he just can't do it. The TP behind. BLG don't want to leave a man standing. Knight makes them kneel. A double for him. A perfect flank. And that's what BLG are all about.
He is not off. This man is on today. And he is on one on this Nico. How many plays have we seen started off by these beautiful Nico flanks? This one was perfection. Started by On and finished off by Knight. TP's down, the flanking Ziggs to finish off the play. They grab the Otacon, nearly a 7,000 gold lead now. This game started and it felt like it was about Kanavi and Hong, but that was just the opening chapter. The climax is this play right here as On finds a picture-perfect engage. Deep flank, never spotted, gets all 4. You die, who cares? Your job is done. You have won the fight for the squad. And then you think maybe Hong Kanavi can get away, but not even that will happen because an earlier ward placed by On. Another assist for him.
Just beautiful. BLG as well engaging just before On's in vision range to get the flashes out of Top Esports so they can't flash away from the Pop Blossom when it comes in. That's the coordination you come to expect from the LPL #1 seeds. Elk now with 516 international kills, surpassing Gala, another incredibly decorated LPL player for 9th all time. And I think Elk today having a great performance on this United has been well protected by BLG. Exactly where he needs to be. Drake up in 40 seconds, Ocean Soul available for Bilibili Gaming. For Top Esports, you're looking at a 6K gold deficit and wondering, how do we get back into this?
That is the question on your mind, and I think the answer maybe you don't. When you're looking over at this massive gold lead, Soul Point, ornaments have already been coming through, and it's the Night Classic. He gets the Magi's again. The Infinity Edge just got finished. Everything is so in their favor that even Kanavi's starting to look like paper.
There's bouncing balls as well from Knight, just shredding through Top Esports. They don't have a true tank. It's a Sundered Sky Black Cleaver on the Jarvan. The Braum perhaps, but he's had to go Redemption because all supports do in this day and age. The Drake begun by BLG. Top Esports trying to collapse, but they don't really have the vision in here. Kanavi almost had another bouncing ball. How does Kanavi get in there? Forced away by the Mega Inferno Bomb. Hung having to run away. And there is the Soul, the priceless moment of the game for BLG. They'll look for more. It's On, not going to go for anything as they decide to back away.
Well, if you thought Finn was tanky before,
yeah,
well, good luck. As you have Jackie Love here, who's quite far behind now, and you're trying to kill with your double AP Soul Laners, the K-Nick Rookern, so much MR, ornaments coming through. This Bin Ornn is not going to die again this game, I don't think.
Yeah, you can look at that small red number under the 47.7k and say, okay, BLG are 6,000 gold ahead. You add in a soul, which is about between 4 and 6k worth of stats, 12,000 gold ahead. And then you see the fact they have 26 more petals from the Articon than their opposing team, and you say, okay, that's probably another 2k. So it's around a 15,000 gold lead. And the ornaments, 20k. Just
How about some scaling advantages as well? What else we got for us?
They're just in such a strong position right now. For top esports, like, you're looking for a pick, you're looking to try and catch someone out, but it's hard into double TP, it's hard into Crescent Guard because he negates so much damage, it's hard into Pot Blossom. Hung tries to step up to get a little bit of vision, but it's immediately cleared by BLG. 7 seconds on the Baron, they'll just push in these waves and then turn their eyes towards that team buff.
And it's also hard because no matter where you go, it feels like On just spawns in behind TES with a perfect flank ready to kick off, and here he comes again!
Looking for Kanavi, gets him right on the tip of it! Kanavi with a Cataclysm will be able to survive. Call of the Forger comes out, Bin flashes for it, and claps him down. Top Esports now at a man at disadvantage. Jackie make it 2 down. BLG might just push in for the win here as Cream is being chased out. Instead, they decide the buff is the prize out of this. We got the jungler, we got the AD carry. Let's take the blue, let's take the Baron.
Cream just did a shockwave on multiple members, and I don't think I saw their health move.
He's got Horizon Focus, 10 stacks rod, man. This guy does not do damage.
He's scaling. Give him a few minutes.
Well, one thing you can say about On is he's never chicken, as he's hiding in this mid lane.
Fair. It's the new jungle camp. Coming to the Rift next year.
And there we go. BLG will take the Baron. Expect the resets to come out here. I wonder if Elk actually has a 4th item already complete. Yeah, 2,500 gold ahead. Gets the last Whisper and just a control ward. 14 stacks as well on Knight Medjais. They can look for a 1-3-1 if they want, with the Ornn and the Ziggs being this big.
Yeah, I mean, they absolutely can, but I don't even know, if they will or if they'll just play through 2 lanes and just kind of really try to ram it home when you're this far ahead. I feel like splitting up is maybe one of the only ways you could lose. And Knight even completing the Shadow Flame off the back of that, so the burst is going to be that much more terrifying now. And they really do feel like they are one fight away from closing out this first game in an extremely dominant fashion here.
And in much more convincing fashion than we've seen them win so far at this tournament. The damage on Cream, man. Just has to walk away from it. That tower's already forfeit. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Bin continues to push in, trying to sink these waves up. On will clear out the vision. Hung looking for that Winter's Bite. Does connect to the shockwave down, but Cream's almost dead. The bouncing bomb not quite enough to kill him off. Elk though can step back forward. Shadow diving in. Only a cannon minion here. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Bin has a couple of waves to help him push this inhibitor. Bot wave still a long way away, but BLG need to wait another 10 seconds or so before they have another wave to bolster their attack on this top side.
I mean, it's a fantastic shockwave on both the carries by Cream, but they have Ocean Soul, so they're right back to full health, and Bin has already knocked down the first inhibitor. Second one is gone. It's 2 autos and a satchel, and everything is just going to die.
When do you go? When do you attack as top esports? Because BLG are close enough now that you can't just pick off an isolated member. They'll push him with triple cannons and now look down towards that bottom side. The inhibitor tower has already fallen, so Shadow can just start whacking away at that inhib. 10k gold, just the gold lead as Hung has to flash away just from Shadow. Mega Inferno bomb blocked with the Unbreakable. Redemption down, not in time. Even with the Fountain trying to help him out, Hung cannot survive. Cream flashes out, but it's knocked up with the Q3 from Shadow, and Equalizer down. It's not going to equalize this game at all. 369 gets a couple, but BLG get the base.
What a performance here from BLG, despite the early game heroics from Kanavi and Hong. They got so many early game kills, it just didn't even matter.
Huge performance from BLG coming back from that deficit, not giving Top Esports a moment to breathe, really after the 17-minute mark or so, just totally took over the game.
Those Nico flanks were absolutely insane.